One more for the game. Come, sit.
You have passed the 13 gates. And you come to my table to play the game of life and death. Your stake is wagered. I refuse none who come here. Yet, I say, turn back. Back so soon? I knew you would not falter. The game begins. One lives and one dies. Let us see what you are made of. Here is the first member of my court, the Jack of Dust. 12 in all must fall before you may challenge me. Let the cards fall where they may. We begin. That first moment, that glinting weapon, the call to action, to adventure. Truly, there is nothing like it. Choose from these options. A moment to savor. That will make you much more effective. I cannot expect you to get by without some protection. You can now reflect your opponent's ranged attacks using your shield. Make good use of this skill if you wish to survive. Fair Merith. I'm not surprised to find that this encounter remains vivid in your memories. I'm sure you are grateful for that. Every step you take consumes food, but you will also heal as you proceed. You are on the final floor of our simple map. Your opponent waits here for you. Find him. If you defeat me, well, it is early to be talking about victories and losses. Let us see what you're made of. You can now counter your opponent's attacks. Hit the counter button when you see the flashing indicator. A strong left arm is as important as a strong right arm, after all. If you were wondering why you've been collecting all that gold, you now have your answer. We're starting to get into the meat of the game now. The back and forth between resources and rewards. Fling your opponent's challenges back in their faces. The most fundamental symbol of might for an age. Interesting choice. Artifacts provide powerful special abilities to use in combat, but it takes time to ready them. You can always review your cards here. An ambush. Hardly fair, is it? Great men wield great swords, swords of myth and legend. For you, this will suffice. You have reached my first champion. A good man, driven to madness by a war that took all from him. Wife and child, kith and kin. From such dark and brittle iron I forge my tools. Now we see your metal. Some enemy attacks cannot be blocked or countered. Get out of the way, or stop them with your own counterattack. Down into the worms with him. Perhaps there is peace for him in the grave, poor soul. One champion has been sent to the cabinet. Yet we are only at the start of our road. You will face 11 more opponents who will test your strength, your memories, and your resolve. Few fall at the first hurdle. None reach the last. We have wagered, and you have won. You may claim your rewards, yet I will also claim mine. As you improve, so do I. Balance must be retained. Shall we deal again? Ah, good. Now you understand the basics, we can begin in earnest. Your hero is returned to his beginning items. Our decks are reset. Welcome to the cabinet, home of the members of my court. Time for you to face my undead army. Meet the Jack of Skulls. Some cards are locked and cannot be removed from your deck. I will add my own cards to the deck. How boring life would be without a little spice. You play for life and death. Prepare yourself. I always thought it was best to avoid the problems of others. I see you have no such concerns. It's a lump of iron on a stick. Not terribly subtle. Really? Is that what you're going to do? The token is yours. Well done. It lives in every game. That initial moment where things begin. I have worked on these cards all my days, and the canyon has been there from the outset. Oh dear. Given how rarely one encounters the folk, you are fortunate indeed to meet Merith again. Or perhaps we are merely cycling around the wheel and dipping into the same memories time and time again. Bound once more, seeking the heart of it all. Many have reached this far. Further, in fact. I do not know if you have what it takes to do better than they did. Now we begin to raise the stakes. The arena itself will fight against you. Beware of my traps. little extra health, but it is only a momentary respite. Armor protects you from damage. The best armor, of course, does so much more. I was never a fan of illusion or pretense. Here, I'll make an exception. With practice and good timing, you can reflect ranged attacks. The power of a prophet. Choose your fate. Greater choice is always an asset. It's not enough that you kill them, you'll curse them too. A wonderful creation, forged of alchemical processes, but given permanent shape. I know of nothing like it. Artifacts give you powerful abilities to use in combat. Now you can counter opponents if your timing is right. Head downwards, if you dare. Good. Now all you need to do is find and kill the Jack of Skulls, and we can progress. Greed. If it were not for greed, then who would play at this game? A shield for the marathon, not the sprint. One of my cards. A small benefit. I will not be so graceful for long. Don't forget to counter. Defense must always be balanced by offense. What did you think would happen with a card called Ambush, eh? A classical approach to dealing with crowds. Are you sure that's the right approach? The undead. Of all the players in the game, these are the most dangerous in the world, yet in no natural form. A wrongness, an error, cheating. Shots from rifles cannot be deflected. You would do better to avoid them. Are you agile enough? Well done. Well done indeed. But you have roused the dead in their dusty tombs, and even I cannot say what will come of it. Now our wager becomes more interesting. Will the tools you've earned suffice to address the challenges I pose? That is the question, is it not? Shall we deal again?